spawning in the upper right for Aftermath Esports in the blue. He's the Infernal player. It's TheoRy. And in the bottom left, this chef absolutely toiling away in the kitchen. Very quick Therium Purifier. In the red from Poland, it's Aureil. And as we mentioned, that is a very, very quick Therium Purifier. So what we're going to see Aureil do, at the bare minimum, they're going to wall this area off. They're going to put a chamber, second chamber, maybe. I'm not up to date with what the wall is in its totality, but they're going to wall this off. And just based on this early Therium setup, my expectation is that this is going to be some sort of like quick, you can open Seraphim into this. You can go like Seraphim into Archangel. You can just go straight Archangel. Maybe there's some other stuff I'm not aware of because the balance has changed. Quite significantly, in fact. Light Vent saying, I should have joined the tournament. Absolutely, we would have loved to have you. I would have been awesome to see you in the tournament. This is, of course, a charity tournament. The more people that sign up, the more money that Frost Giant donates to the Children's Hospital of Orange County. And by the way, if you want to go and contribute, not to the prize pool, but you want to go contribute to the Children's Hospital of Orange County, who does life-saving research all around the world, you can go, maybe not build a bear, but adopt a very cute little in-game pet. I don't know that it has a name, but it's got hearts. It makes some sounds when I'm blathering, and it shows up on my main base. I get a little happy. It's pretty fun. So you can go do that. It is slightly more expensive, but that's just because I think they're trying to make it like a flat $5 per bear to CHOC, and that means that they have to, the price gets a little bit more expensive because of like Steam processing fees, as I understand it. Regardless, this is the Seraphim opener, and of all the graphical improvements that have been made, I think the Seraphim is the one thing where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this one. Because, and actually I guess the Archangel as well, because if you look at the wings, they used to kind of look like plasma. It was really cool. And now they just kind of look like plastic, or they look like a solid material, and I think they're supposed to be this kind of glowing jet plasma thing, which was pretty cool. So hopefully they'll be able to go and find some happy medium on that one. But for now, you're on one base, second base on the way. If you are Aureil, you're going to go and you're going to start to creep the camps, and importantly, you're stealing camps from your opponent. You're stealing camps from your opponent, which means that is money that you are, not only that you are getting, but you're taking away. Theory's not going to be able to have as much. And remember, Theory opened Brute, or not Brute, excuse me, Vault Conclave into a shrine. So his economy is not developing at nearly the same rate that you might otherwise expect it to. And it's not like he's creeped a ton either. He's gone and gotten the speed tower, but that is really it. So he's opened rather defensively or offensively. You can get aggressive in some ways with this, but I'm not super worried about it. And that just means that, yeah, the Seraphim are going to move around the map. They're going to get the vision camps. And behind this, where's our Arc Station turning into an Arc Fortress? We're going to have Archangels. That's going to be the next stage. That's going to be the next phase of aggression coming out of Aureil. And this is pretty fun, right? You got 4 Seraphim. They don't do a lot of harass damage. Let's be real. They don't really do a lot against the imp lines. They can do some. It's like they 4-shot, I think it is. They 4-shot imps. Actually, we can just take a look. I don't remember what the exact number is. That is what? They 6-shot. Sure, close enough. They 5 or 6-shot imps. It takes a while, but you can make it happen. You can harass with it. But again, the big value is you can go in and take these heavy creeps. These big creeps. You can go, you take the Luminite camp if the map has that. You take the Therium camps. You take the Vision camps very easily. And that is just a lot of money that you can extract from the map that eventually is going to give you a bunch of Archangels, which then is more harass power. Now, where Aureil goes from here, I'm not sure. Because there have been a lot of changes. The Archangel upgrade, Meteor Slam or whatever it's called, and that is now 60 seconds faster. So you can get into that a little bit more. That's decent space denial. Also, Shadow Flyers have been nerfed a little bit, and most importantly, Infest has been nerfed against big units by quite a bit. It does a flat 2 damage per second now, instead of 1% max HP. And when you're looking at a unit that, what is it, 750 HP? Yeah, 750 HP for an Archangel. That is your DPS have been cut by a quarter, by 3/4 almost. And that especially matters when you get anti-armored from Shadow Flyers, because at that point, Shadow Flyers, when like 2 Shadow Flyers connect, they're doing 150% damage, and it was doing just insane value against these Shadow Flyers. So, well, the Archangels, they're not even bothering with these gaunts. They truly do not care. The damage is just not significant whatsoever. So, Fiends pre-split in 2 bases. We have Shadow Flyers out of the map. That buff or that bug has been fixed, so now they actually do some damage. Crashes in, dives away. That one's going to be a little bit better. I think I got 2 or 3 imps, but this is not the game-ending amount of damage that you're looking for. That is just the optimal opportunity. But now you turn on Avatar mode, and that means that you're doing damage in the line, and this is getting the damage you're looking for. This is finally killing off a lot of imps, and well, you can purify off and in the debuffs, you can fly away, and you will be fine. Remember, Shadow Flyers, that leash range was once 5, it's now 1. It's a lot harder to make them connect. They don't do as much damage as they did before, and overall, that's a very nice bit of an engage. And yeah, 6 HP left. It's fine. Go back, sit in a health camp. You're gonna be okay. So they're gonna go and start to do things a little bit more. Matra Lurker saying 2 per second is nothing if you dodge it. Well, so 2 per second is actually more damage than Infest was doing against units with less than 200 HP. So it is a buff against, say, Fiends, or it's buff against Fiends. Actually, no, Fiends don't get infested, but a buff against Imps, a buff against, say, Exos, a buff against Gaunts, a buff against, it's supposed to be just good against small units. But it is not as good against big units. And remember, Infest can be applied by Plague Axes. Infest can be applied as man, Archangels do so much damage when left alone. Infest can be applied by Miasma and Nightfall Infestation and the Skull of Shedda, and if anything, there are probably too many ways to apply it. So you're not really gonna dodge Infest playing against Infernals. That's not really how this thing tends to go. So now we're on 3 bases here, soon to be 4 bases for Aureil, as he has pretty much gotten everything he wants to get done. These Archangels have been very significant, and now we have this army of TheoRy running across the map, but look at the supply. He's only on 2 bases. He does not, his economy's not where it needs to be. If we look at this, it is 11 Fiends, or excuse me, 11 Imps in the natural, 10 Imps in the main base, really no Therium mining, no Therium mining whatsoever. What you see with this army is what you get. He's got a couple Spriggans, and Spriggans are good against Archangels. Spriggans are, well, it kind of goes both ways because Archangels will one-tap the Spriggans, but if you can cut away a little bit, they can be good. This army is just tiny, and the Archangels, they're just gonna go hit the Spriggans, take them down, that's fine, and then they're just gonna slam down on top of everything, and I do not think this is the game that TheoRy's gonna win. This Archangel build just got way too much done, slams everything down, and yeah, this is a dead TheoRy. He's gonna have to tap out. Aureil takes game 1. Here we are, it's game 2, Broken Crown. I don't think this is a map that we're gonna see Aureil go and go for the Archangel rush. Just don't think it's quite long enough. I think you can get punished a little bit more effectively. But he has been doing this 3-chamber thing. And the Skull of Shedda is just gonna go, and you can, as you can see, you can go put the Hex into about right here and not really have to expose it too much, and then just go and put your Skull of Shedda onto the other side of the map and have some fun, and it works totally fine. So he's just gonna go scout out. He wants to make sure that, well, he can be a little bit greedier this game. So it's gonna be Vault into Shrine. It's not gonna be Shrine first. Hello there, Kaysen. I am not Rotterdam. Although I do like Rotterdam. Rotterdam is awesome. Doing Bellum Gens Elite, doing the Bulgarian tournament with him back in August was a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll be able to do that thing again. And Roddy also got some really cool news where he has been promoted to the manager of all esports at Basilisk, which right now, to my knowledge, is only StarCraft 2, but sounds like they're looking to expand into other games. Well, I guess technically you have Magic. They have the what was it, Mythic Studios? Mystic Studio, something like that, that does Magic the Gathering content, but I don't think he's a competitive player. He just does content about Magic the Gathering, like very cool statistical based analytics of Magic the Gathering, which is totally in line with Basilisk's mission statement. So yeah, Ranker, I am also very much looking forward to it. Like, we still don't know what the Annihilator Beast or whatever it was is. We've seen that from some concept art. I would love to see a Gigamech. Tier 4 maybe, that'd be really cool. If we ever, you know, that ever is something, because at one point they were talking about like late game, like tier 4 units that you could use to break stalemates. We haven't seen any inkling of that. I just Monk in an interview at one point, and we saw some early concept art about that idea. But who knows what's going to happen with that one. For now, though, this is triple array from Aureil. And I think this is something that is punishable. I think it's something that you have to punish as the Infernal player if you're not going to go like 3 Shrine yourself. So Fiends are going to run by, and I think this is just what you got to do. Put units in every bases. There are only so many Sovereign Watches. There's just not a lot of production right now. And if you can go and kill off all the power banks, that is how you want to play. You just kill off all the power banks, it's fine. Your opponent's going to be in red energy, and there's just not a lot that they're not going to be able to produce things. But it seems like TheoRy, he's going 3 Shrine. He is playing this a lot more macro focused, and this is also a way to play. His third base is going to be done not exactly when Aureil's is, but in the same ballpark. Of course, Aureil is going to be able to saturate this a lot faster because you only need you really only need 3 production, well, really 1 production cycle once you're on 3 arrays to go fully saturate this, right? Each array builds 1 prism. It only takes 3 prisms to saturate. You go and you're saturated, right? So the economic scaling that Aureil has is much faster in this stage of the game. Not saying this is imbalanced necessarily. Not saying that the game is impossible. I'm just saying that in this situation, because of how everything is opened up, Aureil is in a bit better economic situation at the moment. A ranker saying, I love tier 4 units. Like, they don't even have to be viable in PvP. They just need to exist and be cool. Fair. The problem with tier 4 units like that, in some ways, is that they are, like, overly good. Potentially in low-level games. It's like the carrier problem in StarCraft 2, where these carriers, these super high-tier units, in pro games, for the longest time, they weren't viable. But if you're in Gold League and you don't know how to punish your opponent being as greedy as they have to be to get the carriers out at a reasonable time, they're just going to have these units that are so much better than what you have that it's a problem. It's a very difficult thing to deal with. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a problem necessarily. I'm not saying that that's something that should invalidate the concept of a tier 4 unit, but it is something you just got to pay attention to, right? So we are just sitting here, and TheoRy continues to macro up. He's got double Spire in case this is a in case you just need to deal with it. Also, it does mean that he's going to have access to actually triple Spire. That means he can go to a lot of Spriggans, which against the Spriggans used to be very good versus Celestials. They just used the elite units versus Celestials. They would just kill off all the Argents. It's fine. And then Vectors got buffed, and Vectors got a lot better against Spriggans, and that gave you an option. And certainly Archangels, if you have enough of them, they one-tap Spriggans. So it's like technically Spriggans should be good, right? Because bonus damage versus heavy, they slow down Archangel. Archangels already attack slow. Like, that should be a good thing. But unfortunately, it's just the Archangels get close and they go and they hit them, and the Spriggans die. Guillotine saying, we have 1 tier 4 unit. It's called the Lancer. I appreciate the memes, but that is not how that works. Yeah, tier 4 units, they'll exist. They'll be stalemate breakers or turtle breakers. Yeah, I think that's kind of where you would want to go. Units that force fights. Technically, you can consider maybe like an Aeon Gate a tier 4 unit. It's tier 3, but like that idea of we're going to break stalemates open. But for now, Unseen Veil just about done. And this is going to be the kind of the Argent Kree idea that we've seen, where you go and you smoke everything up and you harass a bunch of Luminat mines at once, and it is a problem for the Infernal player, especially because, unlike, say, Night End, TheoRy does not, well, okay, he does have a lot of stuff here. We got a Wraith Stone, we have a Shroud Stone. He's very defended at his natural. The third base is not quite there. And the Kree is going to run in. Meat farm's going down, but the Kree say, oh, don't mind if I do. This is not a very well saturated third base either, only 5 of 12, so TheoRy is on the map, and okay, so Wraith Stones are very good against Kree. They just slow down by quite a bit. But this economy that TheoRy's losing like 3 base economy right now. He is not, functionally, he's not mining. All the imps are just running all over the place. They are dying. They're getting taken out. And yeah, there's a Wraithstone that is making this happen, but he's just not allowed to mine from any of his bases at the moment. This was a lot of Kree committed, but it was absolutely worthwhile. It was so worth it for Aureil, right? Yeah, that was 20 Kree or so, but TheoRy didn't mine for a solid 45 seconds. TheoRy lost. Let's take a look at here. 7 out of 12. So actually that's a little bit more than he had, but 11 out of 12, 6 out of 12. He probably lost a good 20 imps. And he's not mining Therium. Like, this is actually a bit of a problem. But maybe TheoRy can go do something on the counter because he knows what the status of his opponent's tech. And it's not very good. Oh, wait, apparently you can unseen Veil buildings. I was not aware of that. I thought it was only units. So we got Radiant Fury on the way, Photo Capacitors getting added in, Archangels added into this thing as well. But the question, the very relevant question, is just now whether this is something that's going to get broken. So Archangels are going to join in. Spriggans by themselves don't do a great job, but Spriggan's Shadow Flyer absolutely can. And on the right side, well, this base is not going to be allowed. We got Therium being mined out of this base, so, or at least the shrine is done. It will try to take some Therium. But if we look at the supply, it has ballooned all of a sudden because these Archangels are worth a ton of supply. Worth a ton of supply. It also means if you kill the Archangels, the supply that we're looking at, the 60 gap, disappears very quickly. It equalizes extremely fast. TheoRy, for his part, no Elder Shrine even getting started. He does not have the money for it. He just doesn't have the Therium. He's mining from, like, I guess 10 total Therium or so. But he's going to take a fight here around the Vision Camp. Maybe that's going to be worth something. Purify goes down, and this Animancer is not here to do damage. It's here to heal the army up just a little bit. And unfortunately, the Vision Camp is just tanking way too much of TheoRy's damage. Caval's getting added in. Unseen Veil just provides a little bit more, well, just makes this fight a little bit harder for TheoRy to take. It's a 60 supply lead. More Spriggans are getting dropped down on the ground. But these Archangels, they are dying eventually. But we can see the problem where Infest just does not do a lot of damage to Archangels anymore. It's a bit of a problem. Now, Shroudstone on the low ground is doing something. We're going to see Archangel goes down, maybe an Avatar form. Yeah, it will. And the Kree are slowly falling, but they have that upgrade. 60 damage explosions means that they are just blowing these Gaunts up. And even as TheoRy is trying to defend the supplies, the supply lead is staying about the same. And actually, well, okay, this Archangel runs out of energy. It's not able to go slam down on the Gaunts. That is absolutely something. But I mean, just look at the power of these Kree once they explode. Once they're dead, they run forward. It's 60 damage, and it's so hard to run away. Yeah, TheoRy's dead here, I think. Unfortunately, took way too much damage from that run by, even as the Archangels fall down. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to this. And remember, oh, well, okay, so Miasma's getting added in. That is 60 damage per second, right? That is a reasonable amount of damage. Actually, was that Miasma? Maybe that was just Nightfall. Maybe that was just Nightfall. Yeah, because I didn't see the actual particle on the ground. But the Archangel on the back line is being annoying. Not a lot of damage to go take the Magmadon down. It doesn't stun them. So it doesn't really mess with things. It does, and it doesn't really do bonus damage to the Kree. Is the other problem. Kree are light units. But somehow TheoRy, he decreases the supply gap. Somehow, I thought TheoRy was just kind of dead here, but Defender's Advantage is a powerful thing. He's able to hold on. He reclaims the Vision Camp. He's mining a decent amount of Therium now. He's got Shroud Stunts on the map, and while this game is not over for either side, it's not even close to being over. TheoRy actually has put himself in a position where he can take fights, where he can maybe actually do some stuff. The Magmadons at the end were extremely clutch. And his economy's not horrible. Like, he is kind of okay here. I love, by the way, Knight into a minute behind is like, the game is close. TheoRy had a 3% chance of winning, and then TheoRy turns it around and actually goes and takes some bases down and really equalizes the supply gap. We'll see, though. I don't know that I like this position. I think this is pretty rough, but Shroudstone is going to get manifested. And the problem is the Archangels are full of power on the high ground, so they're just zoning everything out. And with no Wraithstone, no percentage damage is a problem. Even still, though, we are starting to see the Archangels get lower, just a little bit. Weavers, the Archangels also, we talked about how the Archangels zoning things out. Archangels don't want to land because the moment they do, they're going to get lashed. They're going to lose a significant portion of their HP. They're going to get stunned down. They're going to die to the Weavers. So they're sitting here and they're trying to punch away the Spriggans as, sorry about that. That is a bug. They're going to punch away the Spriggans, and this game is very much equalized. Sure, Sovereign's Watch is, double Sovereign's Watch is actually not going to do a lot at this point. This base is going to be, well, it's actually going to lose a lot of Fiend, a lot of Imps, but it's going to be roughly defended. So let's see how this, now there's the Sundown. Okay, Weavers, though, it's going to look to lash him. Lash him down, maybe, well, actually, when you're in Archangel form, can you be lashed? I can't remember if that's a change that they made, but Flaming Imps are gonna get on top of everything. And yeah, that's economic losses, but that's actually a pretty solid trade, all things considered, for TheoRy. More Weavers are gonna join in, and if he can go and get the reinforcements, maybe that's gonna be worth it. For now, though, Weaver has to run away. What you really want right now, I think it is Miasma. But more importantly, there's still no Elder Shrine. That is the problem. Because, okay, there it is. It's on the way now. Like, additional 2% white health regeneration when you take these fights on Shroud feels really good. Hey, look at that. Frost Giant Chris. Is that Culp? Or is that a different, is that a different Chris? Is that Chris Enoch? Or maybe it's another Frost Giant Chris. Welcome, Chris. Go TheoRy, he says. Yeah, I want a game 3, and this game is... Remember, take a look at the economy. We got some Prism's long distance mining Therium. This is a 3 Luminite. Oh, I don't like using that lash, I don't think. I think that was a bit of a waste. Big splashdown comes down on that Therium camp as well, but Flaming Imps looking to get a little bit more done, and it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be massive here. Argent's gonna fall down, and for the first time in this game, not only, briefly it happened, not only did the supply equalize, TheoRy took a supply lead. He's been able to resaturate this 4th base. Main base still not mined out. Main base of Aureil is totally mined out. The natural, totally mined out. 3rd base, totally mined out. Aureil has mined everything out in this game. He has no more money. And TheoRy still kind of does. The natural still has a little bit of value left to it. These Archangels, they're slowed down to a crawl. I don't know if there's the upgrade on the Spriggans available, but I don't know if he got Binding Saliva or the Binding Saliva upgrade that really makes things attack slowly. Answer is no, actually. We can click on it and take a look. But I think TheoRy has held on in this game. It was a very, very tense game. This was, TheoRy looked like he was dead from the Unseen Veil run-bys, but he was able to take a pretty good fight with defensive advantage, play around it, and yeah, he is losing some of these imps, and that's not great, but I just don't know how Aureil is supposed to go. I don't know how he's supposed to mine. I don't know how he's supposed to get any money for the rest of the game. He literally has no Luminite income at all. He can go take some camps. I mean, that's something. He can go take, you can go use your top bar ability, go take the health tower, respawn that again, get some money that way maybe. But main base, by the way, mined out, natural mined out. So you do have that. We did see finally, it's kind of funny actually, where the run-bys, hey, Culp, the run-bys actually helped TheoRy a little bit because his economy was able to, he was able to last a little bit longer before fully mining out. Before mining 2 of his bases out, which is actually a pretty solid thing. And I'm really surprised with all these flying units that Aureil has. I'm really surprised he's not like sending a prism onto this Luminite camp and going and raising it up to heaven and getting that money. But for whatever reason, he's not. Maybe he just feels like it's too vulnerable and he just doesn't want to give it to his opponent. He is, you know, establishing some more economy. He does have this base on the left side. He's not going to get this position on the right, though. Shroud Stones are going down. This is a little bit too hard. And yeah, this base is going to fall down as well. So there is one away, looks like one array mining right now. The second one's going to try, but yeah, this is not going to happen. Yeah, that's what I'm like. I think if you're Avatar, you cannot get lashed. I couldn't remember if they made the change or not. I know it had been in conversation, but you know, a lot of changes have been being made. Even still, at this point, TheoRy has won the game. He held on against the just significant aggression at Aureil and has given us a very, finally in this tournament, we move on, we get some well, we get some players that are very close together, and we get what is a pretty awesome game. Game 2 goes to TheoRy, and we're hopefully going to get treated with a pretty fun Game 3. What a treat we've been getting in this series thus far. It was Aureil going for a lot of aggression, committing to a lot of low-tier units that was meant to just kneecap TheoRy before he could do what he needed to do, kill off his economy, not let him play the game, and then snowball it, and then go into higher tier units. He got a lot of damage done. He got a lot of damage done in Game 2, but not quite enough, just not quite there. And because that was the case, because he just, again, didn't quite get enough damage done, he got to this point where he was taking this fight, but TheoRy was able to play defender's advantage was a little bit closer, and was able to go and play defensively a little bit more. And also these hallmarks of how Aureil likes to play, where he will move link nodes across the map and turn them into strike nodes and push with ascension matrices and things like that. Because if you surge your ascension matrix, all units in an area get like a 20% damage boost. It is all your units, not your opponent's units. It's significant. So if you do that, if you're able to do that, that's how he was playing last patch, and it seemed very effective. You just kind of treat link nodes like creep, or you treat Cascade Field like a Zerg would treat creep, and you push it across the map and stay on there. And he didn't quite do that. He thought, I guess, maybe that he had his opponent dead. I don't know. But it did mean that TheoRy was able to go and defend and play around with a much closer defender's advantage, and eventually claw the game back in like an epic 18-minute game that, up until the very end, we never saw Elder Shrine, we never saw the dragon, never saw, and I'm kind of sad because the new dragon looks pretty cool. They added, it's got some more visual effects, it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit louder, although they have fixed the bug that made it just way too loud. But it's pretty cool overall, and I'm a big fan of it, and unfortunately, TheoRy never got there. He never felt like he had the Therium economy to do so. Yule Fran's asking, why is the Morph Core Rush banned on this map? It's one of those things where I don't think anyone truly knows whether it is a problem or not, because it has been banned for a while. Hey Jex, how's it going? It has been banned for quite a while in the tournament pool, and it's just like at this point, it's not fun. It's whenever, if it's viable, it is too strong. It's not the way the game should be played. It's just one of those things that we just everyone's like, collectively, we're just gonna ban it. At this point, we don't know if it's too strong or not. I don't know if anyone's tested it, but in the past it was, and it's just kind of been maintained with the pool, because running a bunch of morph cores this distance into the main base, not worth it. It's just not fun. So we had a great big macro game in game number 2. That was very cool. Again, TheoRy back against the ropes, able to push back, able to make something happen, able to make the defense, and eventually take Aureil out. I don't know that we're gonna have a long game on Jagged Maw, and that's not to say that we can't. We've different versions of this map, different versions of the game. We've seen some very cool stuff. Light saying, wouldn't adding like a slow aura over that part of the map be for the first 5 minutes be a better solution? Maybe, but it doesn't have that right now. So, you know, when you're organizing a tournament, you can make decisions if something is just a little bit too unfair. You can just go and say, yeah, we don't think this is good for the health of the game and the health of the tournament, and it will be removed. I didn't make the rules for the rule set for this one, but that is my logic when I run Stormgate Sundays. That is Aureil's logic when they run things as, look at that, that's a siege camp, but unfortunately, it's going to be TheoRy's siege camp. He sees Aureil's going for it. He does not get the money because Aureil is on tier 2. Doesn't take the money from it, but now there's a siege camp that he can push with. That's fun. That'll work out fairly nicely. As behind this, well, y'all know the story. We saw this in game number 1. Double Legion Halls go down. Arc Fortress is done, which does mean, of course, that this is going to be some Archangels on the way. And, is TheoRy actually going to push with this V5? I think the answer is no, actually. It seems like he's just very content to go and get the double Therium set up, go and take his third base, wall this off, and just play a very defensive, very safe style for the mid game, which we're going to have to see if it works out. It is going to be Archangels. To be clear, it's going to be Archangels, not the Kree build that we saw in the last game. So probably it's going to be 3 Archangels coming out at a time. That is a... I don't know that you can... Oh, this is Aureil, come on, man. This was honorable combat. Rocket launcher versus rocket launcher. And you're gonna go and you're gonna ruin that by killing off one of the rockets? I was about to ask you, what is the current ETA of the 3v3 mode? Kind of unknown. We do know that they ran some alpha tests for it. As a nice scouting fiend there. They ran some closed alpha tests for it a bit ago. And it got, according to the devs, rather positive feedback, but also feedback that it wasn't ready for prime time just yet. And because of that, I said, okay, well, you know what? We're going to really focus on our core modes. We're going to focus on campaign, as that got about 3 fiends. Avatar mode's going to go up to make sure that it cannot be lashable, and it's going to run away. Nice little bit of harass coming out of Aureil. But anyways, they got the news that, well, you know, we're going to focus on our core modes. We're going to focus on 3v3. We're going to focus on, or sorry, not 3. We're going to focus on campaign. We're going to focus on 1v1. That's what probably matters to get at first and foremost. That gets another 3 fiends or so, or 3 imps or so, I think. Or maybe not even that. Not bad. So this harass, while annoying, is not that big of a deal. And again, you look at this and you say, wow, look at the supply. It is so good for Aureil. But remember, most of that's in Archangels. And Archangels are, while powerful, not the most insanely functional, not the most insanely effective fighting force. Another Archangel is going to show up here and going to splash down and get off a couple more workers. Got 2 that time, I think. So this continued Archangel harass is annoying. Oh, that one's going to be a little bit better. Oh, that one's going to be pretty good as well. Oh, it's starting to hit. I was going to say, you know, the Archangel harass is doing pretty good, but at the end of the day, they're not the best, like, main army fighting units. Oh, that one was fine, I think. Not the best main army fighting units. Because realistically, they get lashed. They get taken down by Magmadons. It's not very good. So you're like, well, okay, it's fine, but Aureil, let's see, what are we at? 10 out of 12, 7 out of 12. This entire Therium camp. So yeah, the economy of Theory was pretty heavily diminished in this one. Tyndall AJ Tyndall. Thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to me Bruise. I'm glad you all are here. I hope you enjoyed the lack of ads and Stormgate StarCraft 2 emotes. Mothra Lurker, most high-level players actually, if you ask a lot of high-level players at this point, they're going to say, hey, actually, Jagged Ball is a pretty good map if you ban Morph Core Rush. Like, it is actually a pretty good competitive map. Oh, well, okay, Nightfall's going to go down. Purify drops that, so that's going to be fine. Big attack on the main base. This 4th base, yeah, unfortunately, the Wraithstone's not done in time. So this 4th base, 1 Shroudstone gets canceled. That's going to get taken down. And this is so many Archangels. They're just going to kill off all the Spriggans in the sky. The Spriggans do not do enough here. And then they come slamming down. And you look at all the damage the Weaver does. The Weaver does a lot. But Arcane or Avatar form is a thing. Purify is going to go down, giving a little bit more energy. Slams down once again. We can see the power of the Weaver. We can also see how ineffective Spriggans are. So this Archangel build just does not seem to have an answer from Theory at this point on the left side. The rest of the army is going to go down. Theory won a pretty cool game number 2. But game 3, well, Aureil, he scaled too hard. The Archangels got way too much damage done in the mid game. And, well, I mean, okay, so Flaming Imps, they're doing a really good job once again against all these Argents. Unfortunately, this time, the damage elsewhere is way too strong. So these Archangels just, the fact that Avatar means they cannot be lashed makes them technically what should be their counter on the ground, which is the Weaver, just get taken down. So Aureil is gonna win this series 2-1. Gonna find a date with, I assume, Mixu in the next round for a date for tomorrow and playing best of 5s and best of 7s. For now, though, of course, if you like this, you want more Stormgate action, hit the sub button, follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you next time.